Hey guys, how you doing? We're doing the Greenwich. I think that's how you pronounce it. The one that he just recently participated in. This is game three of his tournament. He won against George. Fabi's white, so I better turn the board. That'd probably be a reasonable idea, wouldn't it, guys? Okay. And we're kind of gonna just do it by ourselves here. Let me get a drink of water. Okay. George is white and Fabi is black. George went e4, Fabi went e5, knight f3, and knight c6. This is the king's knight opening. Fabi loved to play f6 and then go into this is actually the Russian classic attack here. Then you have here, you have here. Then potentially you have let me see here, and let me see what, yeah, he castles, that's right. Bishop d6, knight there. Here, knight takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, pawn takes, rook over, and then f5. If he plays here, of course, you know, we snap off his knight, so he can't do that. So if he plays something like bishop at e3, we castle kingside, and we're right as rain to push up the board and kind of get some space. So that was the Russian game, or Petrov defense. So he didn't play that though. That's really his favorite one. A6, B takes C, and then D takes. It's you wouldn't want to take this way because it would make this pawn weak. But hey, how you doing? But what you're thinking is, if you take this way, it doesn't allow your bishop to fianchetto. Yeah, but remember, it makes an isolated pawn. Every move has a weakness, and no longer does this pawn have a protectorate, so it's isolated. That's why he played. Yeah, I'm glad it's Ryan again too. So C takes D. So how are you doing? Castle Kingside. I'm doing really good. You know, I'm so glad it's working again. Now we can do some puzzles. We can learn, and we're going over a game. This is the most recent tournament that Fabi was in, guys. It's game three of that tournament. I don't really know how to pronounce the name of it, but it's like, it's in Germany. It's like Greeny, or I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but perfect. So something like that. It was a tournament in Germany, and Fabi didn't think that he was going to actually win it on Chess.com. He said that he kind of was not. He was tired, so he put everything into the Candies tournament, and so he didn't really think he was going to win this one. But he ended up winning a whole pawn ahead of world champion Magnus Carlsen, so that's an accomplishment. He said some of his moves that he played, um, he wouldn't have probably made if he was more refreshed or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. It was like a week or so ago when that article came out, though. I just wanted to give you some, heads up on some of these moves. But I really think, even though he was tired, I really think he played really well. So I think it's going to be a pretty good World Championship match coming pretty soon. The next one that he's in is the U.S. Open. I'm not U.S. Open, sorry, the U.S. Championship. And it's going to be, I believe Nakamura is going to be there, Wesley So, Fabiano, and there's a couple other ones that are going to be there that are good too. So it's going to be really interesting to see how he does in that. So okay. white castled, and Fabi played queen f6. And that's interesting move for sure. We're taught really not to bring our queen out early, but really there's nothing that could attack the queen. The pawn isn't pushed. Like if the pawn was like this, 1 second. Okay, let me see. Let me go back. If you played this, then you played here, he has that idea. So you have to be careful when this pawn's pushed. The bishop can actually come out and attack your queen because it's protected by the knight. So that's why he was able to, after castles, play that, because there's no bishop g5. This hasn't been d3 hasn't been pushed yet. Excuse me. d4 was played because he's trying to get a tempo on Fabi by playing that, because you can't allow that to stay there, because what's going to happen is it'll be protected by the knight here. So you kind of got to take and kind of suffer the consequences of g5, bishop g5. So he takes, and that's what he does, and there's bishop g5, and that's the only problem with bringing out your bishop to f6, is that this idea is a pain in the terrain. So he moves, but there's really nothing he really can. The most he can do is play here, but I'd probably say he could play up here and then attack that. And then if that's played, then he can potentially bring his bishop out here maybe, and let's see here, knight actually can't come there, so knight would come there. But then you got to be careful of that. So I don't know. There's a lot you got to be a little cautious on. So that's why he took with his knight. He also has the potential of taking with his queen, and then after queen takes, knight takes, and George has actually a majority on the king side, so potentially he's more developed. Excuse me, 1 second. But I think he didn't really like it because of this allowed for a attack on the knight. So excuse me, and so that's well, you could play here, and potentially Fabi could takes, and you play knight here, and then f. You come now. You got an outpost, so you got to be then there, and so you play bishop here. Knight takes, bishop takes, and f5. And if h6, you go back, and then you castle kingside, and it's a little concerning that you have a potential bishop to f2, and then you start these pawns coming down the board. So usually opposite colored bishops are drawish. So Fabi probably would have went for this either way. So bishop retreats back, knight h. So if this is played here, you don't want to take with this. Of course you guys see you don't take here, because that ruins your structure. You take with the queen. And then now Fabi's the one with the potential attack coming after here, and then potentially bishop here, castles. Of course castles first, then you do all that. So queen d2 is trying to fracture the pawns and make a weakness to be eyed by the two knights. But see, Fabi's okay with that. If this bishop gave up its life, let's say bishop here, bishop takes, queen takes, pawn takes, Fabi's got the two bishop advantage, and that's really enough compensation even for this wrecked structure. I wouldn't want to set myself up for it, but you have two bishops, which he also has the potential, like if he played knight here, he can castle queenside, so this actually helps him out with a rook attack. So, and he also has two bishops, so after a rook comes there, then potentially you could have a attack along there. You know, there's a lot that would arise, so you have to just be very careful. So that's why g5. Fabi's not gonna castle kingside because there's really no point. Ay ay ay. Why doesn't he just take here as he takes there? Oh, smack. Ouch. So then he goes there, and then, oh boy, boy. That's not fun. You had to play there, and then you lose a rook. Ouch. Yeah. That's why he can't take smack. That hurts. Then you bring your rook. And h4 was played, which is actually a mistake. Queen takes, pawn takes is best. And let me see. I guess George could play here, bishop, and then maybe the knight could retreat back. Fabi would castle, maybe play bishop b6, and then you kind of something like that. But h4 isn't an idea you want to go down. 1 second. Excuse me. You don't really want to, if you're being attacked on the king side, guys, on the side that your king is, you don't want to weaken it. So h4, I don't know if I would approve of. I understand the basis of it. See, what George is thinking is that this is a pin right here. So if this was ever taken, he can actually win a piece. So, but you have to remember that it could easily now what happens is he can't really, he could take, but let's say he takes and bishop takes. Whoa, actually he can't take, my bad. Let me see, what would you play here? The, well, oh, Snikes, that's good. Wow. Actually, you wouldn't really have to worry about, because if he ever took here, you have a mate, so you don't really have to move this knight. Now that I think about it, no, because if you played something like this and he took, you get checkmate. So he's not. So you don't really have to move the knight at this moment. You potentially, though, could play bishop to g4. Then if he tries like knight development, you can just do that. And now, excuse me, now you're the one with the actual pin. Now if he tries, then you'd probably want to, oops, you can't castle. You'd probably be a rook out, attack the queen, you have to come back. And probably attack the pawn if he plays there. It takes, and then knight. Now you're gunning that, so now you see the problem with pushing h4. Now look at all the air that's around the king. And Fabi isn't really upset, but you gotta remember he's got the George has two passers, so kind of a little concerning. g4. H6. I believe if he took here, bishop takes, queen takes, rook takes. Excuse me. He's up a whole piece in that level. So I think Fabi could have taken, but he wanted to leave open his options for an attack on the king directly. Maybe with bishop takes, something like that. Bishop e6. takes. Rook attacks the bishop. B6. Bishop B6. H takes G. And then the bishop is close to being trapped. So the knight has to come directly to an attack. If you notice, all the pieces are starting to pour into the king side. So the rook slides over. So what we have to do is remember that he really can't do an attack right now, even if he tried here, because that's guarded there and that's guarded there. So one of these knights, that knight's going to probably have to come off the border that night. So one of them's going to have to. Rook FD8, Queen H, and it's temporary threat at this moment. B4 was a blunder. B takes. D4, attacking the rook. F6 and C3. B takes C. Bishop takes. So potentially, yeah, this is actually my. Remember, if we can get rid of that rook, we have. I mean that knight, we actually have mate. So let's say he plays takes here. Bishop takes, pawn takes. There's your mate. That's why taking does, if you think about it, does make sense. But the problem is, now when he takes back, the queen guards this point here, d6. So no longer can we do that. King f7, which was a a mistake. It was a slight inaccuracy. But if you think about it, safety, and right, yeah, this right here is actually a good move. Back rank problems is white sitch, so if the queen moves, you potentially could actually takes. And let me see, what could we do here? Ooh, that's a good move right there. And if he plays here, you gotta have a lot of courage though to come in there. And let's see, a knight would have to come back here. You could snap that off. And let's see. One second. Excuse me. Okay, dokie. Potentially, probably knight there is a move that would be played. That attacks the queen, so the queen would have to retreat back. And then with that, more than likely you would have to take at that point. Takes, and you're up a whole piece. So you just got to be very careful with the play. That was losing this move. What happened with this move here is when the queen moved in and played there, the queen now doesn't have access for protection. So Fabi takes advantage of that, takes the knight, takes. And I agree with the computer here. If rook takes, pawn takes, because you might have to sack the exchange. And you have a passer. If queen is something like queen tries to take. I guess you could just move here, and if that, then something like this. You know, you're getting some good attack going. G was slight inaccuracy because he wants to take advantage of that pin, but and then that was another slight error because you remember it's about mate, and Fabi has enough attack. Takes, B takes. E3 was another error because that allowed bishop to F3, which attacks the rook and also eyes the mating threat of a rook here. If this knight ever goes, we have a rook mate. D6 error. And that was a mistake because now you have a forced line of here. Hey, how you doing? And if he goes here, you have check. He goes there, check, and that's mate. Oh, you could take the bishop first. Okay. And he resigned because it's actually mate in 2. If he comes up here, smack. So that was a really good game. You know, so you have to love it when a game comes together like that. All right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go to puzzles, and I believe I wrote down kind of the line that we were thinking of playing. We talked about this when the kind of when LHS had a sitch. We were talking about here. Rook takes check. Rook takes, king takes, bishop, and queen, B check, king G1, and rook to D5, forking the queen and then if he goes to C2 or C7, sorry. I guess that was kind of what. Actually, he can't go to C. Well, he can't go to C7 because we have him right here. So, so what do you guys think? Bishop takes on G2. We were also thinking of, first of all, rook takes, bishop G2, king takes G2, then you have queen check, but the problem is we can't play this now because of a back rank mate problem. So that's kind of why we started out with here, even if that was played, we have right here. So let's see if that's right. Okay. So far so good. Uh-oh. So that wasn't the sitch. That's fine. That was okay. We were close. I was thinking I want to go back and I gotta see. I want to see why. Taking. Actually, wait a second. Okay, I kind of see now why. I see now why. Okay, drat. So close. We'll get it back. Don't worry. Okay, let's get refocused down, and we'll get this. Man, too bad we couldn't play here. We have a nice mate threat there. We potentially have bishop d4. And if played here, and that's played there. So I'm trying to see what actually could we do at that point. So I don't think there's anything. B3 is an interesting idea. I like that idea. I think yeah. So at this point now, okay, he attacks our knight, so what to do, what to do. We probably have to take, so if takes, check, bishop takes, check. Yeah. And okay, then you take here. First of all, right, we have that so far. Bishop takes. So pawn takes, probably yeah, bishop takes. Yeah, something similar to that. There we go. Yeah, you gotta take the rook because it was given to you in Europe in exchange at that point. So you have to gotta do with what you can at that point. Let's see, what do we got here? What do we got? We have knight takes, bishop takes, and bishop d2. Let's see. First glance, rook takes, queen takes. What I was thinking about was, I think I think I also was thinking here, here, there, but I gotta remember that he can actually move his queen back to guard the bishop that's there. So this idea, that idea there doesn't work because of here. But I don't know, because I'm not sure if, let's see, here, here, there. Oh, you're right, it does guard that, doesn't it? Yeah. Snap, crackle, and pop. Man alive, this isn't what we want. Let's see. Let me see here. He takes there. I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's bishop b1. Then if he takes his pawn, we win. We have to keep the pressure on. Well, if we do that, then he's got there. Ouch. I think you're right. Oh, snikes. How are we going to win the bishop, though? Because if he takes here, he's attacking our bishop. But the only problem is rook a1. You have queen b2. Yeah. I was thinking here, here, and there. And then when he moves here, we I think we can actually take the pawn and guard our bishop. But I'm not sure if that's the move. Yeah, I kind of noticed that. I think it might have to do with something like this. And then potentially like that. I think it has something to do with rook fd1. Because then if he plays here, then we have, then he could play, yeah. Really, there's three only moves, cat moves. Here, here, and then here. So the rook goes here is one cat move, the rook that goes there is one, the queen takes the bishop is one. Oi. I'm kind of thinking that it might be this here. And then when the queen goes to b2, rook c2, queen comes up here, and then you have bishop c3. I think this is right. Huh. Snap. Why was that? Why was... I have no idea why that actually... Oh. Huh. Okay. That's interesting for sure. Wow. That was a crazy move there. That's like, whoa. Okay, so here he's backed into a corner. I'm thinking rook e7 potentially. What do you guys think? I think we would eventually be able to. It's just that was a little interesting. I still think our idea with the bishop b1 might be good. That actually seems like it holds a lot better, but you know what? You gotta do what the computer wants you to do. So here, here, here. This really kind of a pain in the drain, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, there really is nothing that you could do right now. Are very, very troubling for sure. See, bishop here is interesting for sure. Then there. Then here. Then rook takes, then check, then queen takes, rook takes check, rook comes back. Huh, that doesn't work. Nope, not work, doesn't work. gave up that square. Put itself in the corner, so there has to be. What about B? What about B5? Well, I know what your idea is if he plays here. But I think he still can just... Oh, yeah. So here, here. There. There. I think he holds at that point. One second. Just keep looking at that. I'll be right back. Let's see. So you're saying... let's see here, there. Well, then he just goes straight back. And we don't have anything. We lost our queen. Yeah. Oh! Yikes. You're right. So far, so good. Let's see here. Okay, so that's... Okay, so it was b5. Why wasn't this right? Couldn't you play there? Okay, over here. Okay, I got you. Oh, the pin. Oh, it's all based on this here. We can't open that up. Yeah, we can't open that up. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Let's check that other idea out though. We were thinking here. That's an interesting idea. Okay. So it's saying something like this, and if we played... Okay, mate in 1. So you have to take here. Then you just snap that. Okay, I gotcha. You were right, Chris. That was a good find. I did not see that. And I accidentally mouse slipped too, so that was my fault there. That was me. Okay. It's okay. You know what? Sometimes, like Jeremy Silman says, that you have to, if you find the best idea and then your opponent sometimes moves and then you sometimes can see the rest of the line then. So don't worry about that. That you're seeing it is good. Let me see here. So with that, wow, the rooks really come into our position much. Ooh, it's interesting. So it's knight here. Knight beats 2. Ooh, that's good too. Oh, there's only one problem. So it's a good idea. It's just he has bishop to see, and then you're thinking, but wait, can't you take there? Yeah, then the rook takes. Yeah, but the only sitch is, so if you played here, here, I don't really find I don't know if there's any continuation. Because the only thing I could see is either that square for the knight or that square, but if we go here, it blocks the, so if we go here, 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 that blocks our back rank threat. Why I like this is it attacks the bishop and the rook, and so if the rook moves here and we take, the rook takes, then we come over and we're still threatening the back rank problem. If we play here, he comes up, we take, and if rook comes over and takes, we play rook d1, threatening the back rank problem, so he has to come here. Then rook takes, bishop takes. So I believe that's the move. What do you guys think? He's gonna have to like play something like that, or yeah, exactly. Then you take the bishop, boom. There you go. Yeah, you could do that too. That works as well. Like what you're saying up here. That works as well. That works too. That's actually best, yeah. And then if he plays here, so good find, guys. Good find there. What do you guys think? Bishop takes, h7 check. I believe that has to be the move there, and then we actually pick up a rook. What do you think? Bishop takes h7 check, and the king really has two options. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Oh wow. Oh. Okay, so that wins the queen then at that. Should have seen that. I want to check this out though. Oh, you're up. He's up. No, Ash, that we're still. I don't understand why that doesn't apply. I guess it's because the bishop, okay, kind of wins, but a lot of material here. Okay, I see that. Huh. Yeah. Drat. I really thought that would win material, but now I gotta look a little further. Hmm. Okay, we gotta double down here. Okay. A couple ideas. Yeah, I looked at, oh, D6, interesting. Okay, yeah, D6, interesting. Let's see, D6. King moves. Interesting. Let's see. D6, king there. Hmm. Hmm. So D6. Oh, that guards the rook. Nice. Yeah, I see that. I kind of like E5 though, because E5 I like because of, well, maybe not, because they could play here. Well, then you have that. I kind of see why I kind of D5 now, because that allows for that. Yeah. Yeah, I believe you're right on that. That makes more sense. Yeah, that makes the most sense. That puts itself out there, and it doesn't cover the f8 square. Yeah, yeah. This is the only way to handle that situation. I agree with you on that. And now this fork actually works. And I don't really see anything that he could do for this fork. He's gonna lose material. Trying to see, is there any checks that he can do? When we play here, we place check there, we take. No, I don't see anything but that's the only thing that makes sense. Then you take and win. Good find there. Yeah, that idea was the only one that actually worked. Let's see. I believe that potentially has to be the move, maybe. Trying to see if there is. Then we win there. Then we win there. We can't take there because of that. Huh. It's okay. Huh. Interesting. Those are 2 points there. So. Yeah, but I think that he could play there. Yeah, I kind of see that he has that, doesn't he? Yeah, e5 is a problem. But I think what he might play is here though. Well, if he plays here though, see that I was thinking that, but if he plays here, what do we do then? There has to be something. We're missing something here. Cause what's the drawback? But see, what's the drawback to this move? It leaves the protection of that pawn. Yeah, I see what you're saying. There's that's a weak point. I think you're right. Oh. Okay. I think we actually win a piece here. Yeah, exactly. That's 100% right. See, if we take here on h5, queen takes h5, bishop takes g5, queen checks on f7, king moves, and no more checks, and basically we're winning. What do you guys think? Here, there, there, and there, and there. I believe that's the move. What do you guys think? Huh. I guess you're right on that, huh? Yeah, because that means he could actually take. So here, there, huh. It's wrong there. What's the drawback to that move? We could play g6, and then if bishop comes there, we take, queen takes, and then bishop takes g5. What do you guys think? G6. Wait, if we do g6, then he could play back there. Oh. So you're saying now that, okay, here, okay, makes sense. I was thinking this, if he plays like something like here, he's not going to play there. He'll probably play like here. Okay, yeah, I think that's right now that we look at it. G, knight takes h5, g takes, queen takes h. And then bishop takes. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that has to be that. You're right, that has to be the move. That was a good find there. Because then if he plays here, we snap that off, snap there, here, and then bang. And we're up all piece. So it likes to check. What is it? What's it have with that now? What's that all about? Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. That was a good find, guys. Okay, let's step this up here. Step this up. Step that way. From here to here. What's that? What's our idea? What's the drawback to that? Yeah. The only problem with taking is there, and he's threatening here. Yeah, it does look very, I kind of like that idea too. I think the reason he moved back here was so that if we play there, he could actually play here. Because if we play here, he'll play there. So takes, takes. Takes. Hmm. let's see, takes. Hmm. I think I could do like one more, one or two more. I'll see. I know I could do at least one more. Let's see here. Hmm. I think we got Queen D. Queen D2. That forks. But the Queen's guarding there, so well, there we have that. We always have here, or we have there, there, and there. That might work. Yeah, D. I think D6, pawn takes, and then Queen. Yeah. Oh wow. Oh snap. That was my fault there. I'll do one more. I didn't see that check. We'll do one more. We're gonna get this one right, and then we'll call it a day. We're gonna work real hard to find and get this one right. You found the right move. You did. Good job, Chris. You found the correct move, guys. I thought D7 would be a good fork, but it didn't work. The check it was a fork, but it wasn't as forcing as the check. So it would have won material, but not, and not definitely 100%. See, like the check. Okay. Interesting. We have knight there. No, that's not right. Oh, wait a second. That does work. That covers that. Oh, that is funny. This actually is the move. What was I thinking? Do you see how that covers there and there? So the rook would have to take, and at that point then our rook takes. Yeah, I believe that. Okay, guys. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically what would happen. Yeah, the other idea too, I think that I don't know if he'd play that because I don't think he'd be able to get anything for it. So his best chance of kind of is just accepting the exchange down. Well, one second, guys. I appreciate that y'all all came on, and we'll get our score back. It's you know, like every like in the Aladdin thing, diamond in the rough. Sometimes, you know, it's rather than a diamond, it's coal. But when coal gets pressured, it turns into something very valuable, a diamond. So this is our time of turning into a diamond. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is learn from your mistakes to improve and get better. But we got to do that. And I gotta ask one question before. Do you guys have any questions about this puzzle or any puzzles before before I log? You have any questions about any of the puzzles? Anybody? Any questions about any of the puzzles? Okay, I'll take that as a no. Okay. Well, guys, remember, keep pushing forward, keep studying chess, keep getting better. That's the whole thing. You know what? Only look back to learn. Keep moving forward. And as Wesley So says, serve the Lord Jesus. I say God bless, guys. And I'll see you next time on Chess Cruncha TV. Remember, there's always a plan to position. You just gotta find it. Okay, be blessed. Have a great morning, evening, or night. And I'll be back on tomorrow, okay? So keep studying chess and doing good. Bye-bye, guys.